They are overhead right now. I haven't seen yet a water drop. Looks like they're just trying to make an assessment of what they have here and where they can deploy their resources. So what started out as a small brush fire here right off the 405 freeway, then on the eastern side has turned into a massive conflagration. Now our estimate across here is it is probably about a mile from north to south right now with heavy brush that is currently burning, as you can see, in 3 distinct areas. Again, the wind is about out of the north, about 20 miles an hour, and it is burning towards the area that they are referring to as the Moraga Valley. That is the area where the Moraga runs across. Yes, ma'am. That's right. Right over here on the other side of the 405 freeway, that is the Getty Center over there. It does not look like it is in jeopardy at this time, but what is in jeopardy is all the properties on the other side of the 405 freeway. Remember, the Getty Center is on the west side of the 405 freeway, and this fire is burning on the east side of the 405 freeway. So for now, the Getty Center, the only attachment to this fire via the Getty Center is the fact that it is directly across the freeway. But as you can see, massive amount of fuel that is going up right now. Firefighters are staging off the 405 freeway and to the south, trying to get ahead of it a little bit. We just saw one of the fire helicopters overhead trying to take an assessment. He is trying to direct some of his resources where he feels that is needed. We've got to believe that the sun comes up, we're going to see a much different situation out here regarding how much of this has burned. Now, as you can see right there, we've got heavy brush that it goes all the way down to the 405 freeway, and that is just absolutely exploding into flame right there, as you can see. So it's a dramatic situation for those people who are on the 405. They have shut down the northbound lanes. They're trying to get some of the fire and police apparatus out ahead of the traffic right now. It's unclear where they're going to start taking traffic off. It looks like they've got a number of areas that they've blocked off traffic, and they've got some people kind of just waiting to be escorted off the freeway. It looks like Sepulveda itself is still open right now. People traveling north and south through that area, and it looks like, with the number of police officers that are pulling into the area right now, it looks like that may be shut down as well. Looks like they're trying to get in position. Yes, ma'am. Sorry about that. 5 was off just for a bit. Say again. All right, thank you, sir. Okay, 5's going to move over onto the east side of this thing. Do we know what this the street that is to the west? I'm sorry, to the east of this thing. Roscommare? Okay. Yeah, I think that's what they say. Yeah. I think that's well. 5's moving over here. We're on the east side there. We've got, I think that's 4. Right up. Back into the fire. Yes. Negative. 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 You want to go back to where we were before? Do you see where Getty Center is over there? Yeah, okay. How about we go up on the north side there? Okay. All right. Okay, it's burning most decidedly on the east side of the 405 freeway. The Getty Center is not affected. There it is on the other side of the 405 freeway, as you can see that. As we pull out here, you're going to see the 405 freeway on the south side. Looks like they're taking people off before it gets to the flames. And there you can see the flames itself clearly on the east side of the 405 freeway. And as it marches up to the north here, we're going to be able to see the 405 freeway on the other side of the fire. We are definitely on the east side of the 405 freeway over the Stone Canyon Reservoir, looking to the west. On the west side of the 405 freeway, of course, is the Getty Center. There are no flames over there. And to the north of that is Mountain Gate Country Club and Housing Development. There is no flames over there, and it looks like that area over there is not threatened at all. However, there is smoke that is blowing across the top of the and going into the Brentwood area, but there are no flames on the west side of the 405 freeway. LA City Fire has brought in more helicopters right now. They're orbiting over the area here, trying to take a look at where they're going to be doing the water drops. Now, we are at the bottom of the frame right there. That is Roscommere, the end of north end of the Roscommere area, and they have firefighters that up into that structure protection for any may be in that area. On the south side of this fire is Moraga Drive that runs right along the side. The east side of the 405 freeway, they're putting in a lot of units down there for structure protection as well. The reason for it is that the winds are blowing out of the north towards the south, and that has been the march of this fire. It is about a mile long right now and about a quarter to a half mile wide span. Now, the good news is here we are on the east side looking to the west, and as you can see, the flames are starting to march their way down the hill there. And of course, it doesn't, they go up the hill much more quickly than it comes down the hill. Firefighters are down there in that area ready to douse those flames should it come down to that area and try and halt that fire down at the bottom of the end of Roscoe Mare. But as you can see, lots of flame in the area here. There was a heck of amount of brush up here fueling this fire. It is exploding into flame as you can see it right here. And again, clearly this is on the east side of the 405 freeway, and the north edge of this flame is directly across the freeway from Mountain Gate Country Club. We're going to pan across there to the north there, and we'll see the 405 freeway. It looks as though they are taking people off the northbound 405 freeway before it gets to the fire here, which would be right at about sunset, I would believe. And as you can see, they've got still the southbound lanes are open. Southbound lanes of not only the 405 but the Sepulveda Boulevard itself. So they have not shut that down quite yet. However, fire traffic, as you might imagine, is going very, very slowly in that area indeed. So again, as we pan across here, still lots and lots of fuel that is exploding into flame as it goes down the eastern side of the 405 freeway. Sky 5, go ahead. Oh, 1-5 is what I heard. 1-5. Okay. I don't see where it is. Okay. Okay, Roger, thank you. Do we have any idea what the street that might be on? Yep. Yeah. Four. Actually, 5's got 2 targets to the south. Possibly. I can't tell. Okay. We're going to do that. Oh, the 405? Okay. They shut it down at, it's down by the 10 now. Yeah. Actually, it looks like it's about Wilshire or even, yeah, Wilshire. No, Santa Monica. It looks like it's very, very indeed under threat right now. We have not been able to see if there are any firefighters nearby. We don't see any of those flashing lights, which is bad news, of course. It looks like the flames now are all around this fire, this home, I should say. We're trying to get a street where this is. We do believe this might be Linda Flora. It might be the last house up at the top there. It looks as though that is one from one street that is west of Roscoe Mayer, and it does not look like we've got firefighters up there. We've got the lights on. As you can see, we've got flame right next to the house. We're just going to hold on here and take a look to see what happens here, but it's a massive wall of flame that is right alongside that house, and the wind is blowing towards that house as well, so it's not a good situation for these people. Again, if you're up on this area here, I would suggest leaving immediately. There you can see the fire that is right alongside the house there. It's illuminated by those flames here, and we've got that smoke and embers and the superheated gases that are going across here, so there's bad news for the firefighters. Looks like there's a person running out of the house right now, heading to a car. That person should have left a long time ago. Yes. They're going to do a drop right there. I think they're going to do a drop. Okay, they did a drop. Yeah, 5's just got it parked. Okay, shut down. Okay, looks like Skirball Center. Yeah, coming away from Skirball. Yes, as you saw just a few minutes ago, we had a precision water drop by one of the water dropping helicopters from the LA City Fire Department right on the edge of that property that we were looking at, where we saw that person run out of the house towards his vehicle, right on the edge of the fire area. It looked like a big loom up right next to the house was doused by that precision drop. Now, as we push in, you can see we still got a lot of flame in the area. We believe this is Linda Flora, the end of Linda Flora. There's a number of houses up here, and fire is continuing to march. But it is being doused a little bit by the firefighters that are using those water dropping helicopters. Again, 50 acres have burned in the area. This is the southern edge of it. And as you can see, we still got a lot of brush up here that appears that is still yet to burn. So firefighters really have their hands, their work cut out for them. 405 freeway northbound shut down way back at Santa Monica Boulevard. There's the southbound lanes. It looks as though they've got Sepulveda shut down there just beyond Skirball Center. But the 405 freeway southbound still flowing right now. It's unclear if they are going to be shutting down those lanes as well. So again, northbound 405 shut down at Santa Monica Boulevard near the 10 freeway. They're pulling all those people that were on the freeway coming up to this area. They're taking them off the freeway. Fire is still burning out of control. Over 50 acres is what we've heard now. It went from 6, which was the initial call that when the firefighters first arrived on the scene, to 15, and then it went all the way to 50 acres, as you can see, still burning very, very intensely. That due to the fact that we've got a lot of heavy brush in the area up here. Again, this is on the east side of the 405 freeway. between the Moraga Valley, as they call it, all the way up to a beam or across the 405 freeway from Mountain Gate, for those who are familiar. Still, as we can see, the fire burning from north to south, but is starting to, they're starting to halt the progression as it gets to the end of Linda, I'm sorry, we're going to get that name again here, Linda Flora. And firefighters still have flames that are burning along those houses right now. We haven't seen any apparatus get up to those homes quite yet, but it looks as though they are moving from south to north to try and get up into that area. So again, 50 acres burned, 50 plus we would say now, right along the east side of the 405 freeway. The Getty Center is right now protected by the 405 as a natural break that's going across there. No fire on the west side as far as we can see, but the wind is blowing the smoke across the 405 freeway towards the Brentwood and Santa Monica area. Those people, I'm sure, are really smelling. And now, as the sun is starting to come up, they're starting to see some of that smoke overhead. Back to you now in the studio. Yeah. I don't know what to call that either. Sky 5, go ahead. Yeah, 6/10, which should give us about an hour on station. (10-4), roger that. Is that the All right. I don't know. Everybody's here. They're probably all watching the same thing. Flutter drop. Did you catch that? Got 5 hot. Okay. Yeah, 5's going to move a little bit to the south. That house? Yeah. I think that's where those guys are talking about. Yeah, do that right now. Smoke's going to obscure it here just for a second. It's right alongside that house, right? Saying Cassiano. We may be doing a drop right where we were looking. Right there, right there, right there. Here it comes. Another one is. So just hold it right there. Okay, it's going to come in from right to left. There you go, you got it. He was saying Cassiano. Is that possible? It's Cassiano. Sorry. Cassiano. They were saying Cassiano. Were you hearing that? Okay. That's right. We've been focusing on this one. This seems to be where the dramatic firefight effort is going on right now. 2 water dropping helicopters just a moment ago put down a lot of water right in between that home and another. It looked like there was some brush that was between the two, and a precision drop really cooled that off right now. We're seeing that firefighters are moving into the area on the ground here, moving right into the smoke and flame, and setting up their hose lines right now. That was to support those, not only to support those firefighters that are on the ground trying to make their way in, but also to cool off those flames right next to that home. It's unclear whether they're going to be able to save either that home or the one that is right next to it. But again, this has been where the dramatic firefight has been all morning as we've been watching. Now, we still have some flame that are right there. We've got helicopters that are orbiting around right now. One command ship is taking a look at that, keeping a close eye on it, and directing those other helicopters to make their drops. Here comes another helicopter right over the top here. It's unclear if he's going to do a drop. Again, we're looking right through a bunch of smoke right there. He flew over it. Don't know if he did a drop right there. But again, they are concentrating on this area. If they can halt the march of the fire to the south right here, then they're going to keep the flames away from many of the homes in the area now. Some of the areas that are affected are Moraga Drive, Cassiano, and Linda Flora Drive. They're using Roscoe Mare Drive as kind of a main area to get the firefighting equipment up the canyon here. The good news is also the fire is burning downhill, which is burning very slowly right now. That's giving the firefighters a little bit of extra time to get into the area. So again, 2 homes that are up in the area that have been under constant threat all morning long are being concentrated on by the water-dropping helicopters overhead, and we're just going to have to keep our eye on it to see if they can indeed save these homes. Back to you now in the studio. Looks like, okay, looks like they're at least one helicopter is heading towards it. The bottom of the frame coming up. Here it comes. Maybe. Yeah, Cassiano. Yeah, yeah. What do you think that is? That's probably a bunch of engines, I think. Media threat. Yeah. No, I don't see any. Yeah. Oh, you think that this may be up there, Cassiano? Yeah. Yeah, I got one guy go north. He's just kind of looks like. Yes. That's right. We're also monitoring the LA City Fire Department's tactical frequency on this, and we're hearing that they are asking for resources for immediate threats and the 1300 block of Cassiano. We do believe there's 2 to 3 homes that they have. They're calling an immediate threat. They're asking for more resources, and it looks like as the smoke kind of clears just for a moment, we're able to see that there is flame. Looks like between a couple of homes here. We believe this again is Cassiano, and firefighters are trying to do what they can. We saw one water dropping helicopter try to come through, but it looks like the smoke and the flame was too much. He instead dropped a little bit further up the road a little ways just to cool down some of the brush that was on fire. Into the area, we're not clear if he's got enough visibility to get into the area, but doing a heck of a job getting over it right now, taking a look at it. So the 1300 block of Cassiano is where they're asking for more resources because of an immediate threat. The fire is burning through that area right now. We're going to have to sit tight and see what sort of job the LA City Fire Department is going to be able to do. Back to you now in the studio. Yes. They're either right next to each other or one and the same. We're not very sure right now. It's the same block we're hearing right now. So it looks like what we were talking about before, that street may have been off by one, but Cassiano is the street that they're talking about right now, the 1300 block, and that is where they're trying to get as much apparatus into the area as they possibly can and try and help support those firefighters on the ground with a water drop. Looks like we've got a water drop that's going to be coming into the area from left to right on the frame here. He is slowly making his way. It looks like he peeled off there at the last second, was unable to get into the area due to that smoke. That is one of the LA County Fire Department Firehawks right there, and as you can see, he goes by those flames right there, exactly how big those flames are. Looks like he did the drop a little bit further away from those homes right now, took a target of opportunity and went ahead and doused it. That will probably help the firefighters up the hill a little bit due to the fact that he has cooled that off quite a bit. But as you can see, lots of smoke, lots of flame in the area here. Firefighters from the air doing what they are able to do. But it's just as difficult a situation as one can imagine. Or at your 6, Paul. Yeah. That's right. It's a tough situation there. We just got a glimpse of it as the smoke kind of cleared just for a moment. It's difficult to tell because of lens compression whether that fire is burning on the other side of that structure or is burning the structure itself right there. Let's pull out just a little bit, Rich, here. And as you can see, we've got flames that are burning up just alongside there. And if you pan to the left, there goes that tree over there. And that is just what you're talking about. Once those flames get into those trees, they go up like a candle. Now it's being obscured by some of the smoke, but it's still burning very, very intensely down there. Firefighters sure have their hands cut out for, their work cut out for them due to the fact that they've got some of these high-dollar homes up here and all that vegetation around them. Again, the wind is still blowing about 20 miles an hour by our reckoning right here from north to south, and that is not helping this at all. All right. Wow, look at this flame over here on the north side. To the north. Right in there. Whoa. Looks like they're going to do a drop here. Yeah, it was the same place they dropped it before. I'm sorry. It was just down and to the right. Yeah. All right. I'm sorry about that. We're listening to air traffic control just for a moment. Yes, unfortunately, we're trying to maneuver around here. We've got smoke that is obscuring those areas that we were looking at before. That, again, was the 1300 block of Cassiano. That's where the firefighters were asking for more resources. We understand just the last few minutes we've gotten engines in front of the homes that were directly threatened, as they were saying. But they were discussing just what we saw. There was exploding trees out in front. I believe that because of a slight shift in wind, we're probably going to have to switch over to the other side here. We're not seeing a whole lot due to the smoke. But again, they're still mounting that vigorous defense of those homes that are on Cassiano, the 1300 block, and they're trying to see if they are able to save any of those homes up there. There's two of them that they're evaluating, as they were talking about evaluating. We're not sure if that meant that there was fire on the homes themselves or not. Again, 1300 block of Cassiano is where the firefight is going on. They are dipping. That's the water dropping helicopters are getting their water from nearby Stone Canyon Reservoir, which is only just about a minute turnaround. So as soon as they get some sort of visibility in there, they go ahead and make those drops. Again, we're going to move around to the west side, looking back to the east of this fire, see if we can see anything further due to the wind shift. But again, this is, of course, burning on the east side of the 405 freeway, on the other side of the 405 freeway from the Getty Center. The wind is blowing the smoke, though, right across the top of the Getty Center, and we understand that they have shut that museum down to save some of that artwork in there. Back to you in the studio. All right, 5 is going to move over to the west side. It looks like they have some civilian traffic that is stopped there, kind of bottled up just for a little bit. It looks like they'll probably be making some escorts out of there. That's Sepulveda right there on the eastern side of the 405 freeway. We saw what looked like a big train of emergency vehicles coming up from the San Fernando Valley southbound on the 405 freeway. We presumed that they left the 405 freeway open not only for just the regular traffic because they are able to do so, but to allow some of the firefighting equipment to come into the area here. Now we are on the west side, looking to the east, and you can see the flames have come down almost to the 405 freeway. We understand we've got some structures that are right there. We believe that this one is a synagogue, and it looks like the firefighters are moving about the area right now, trying to get structure protection for that. To the right side, we've got some more homes. We believe just to the north of that is where we saw some of those homes that we were watching a little bit earlier. As you can see, we've got those trees there that we saw some of them just exploding into flame, and we heard on the scanner the LA City Fire Department talking about exactly that. It looks as though we may have a structure there on that far side. It looks as though that may be on fire. We just can't tell right now. We believe that the 1300 block of Casiano is just up those flames, obscured by the smoke right now. So it's burning intensely right now since it's gotten into that vegetation, and it's going to make for these dramatic pictures. Likewise, the firefighting effort is going to be hampered by that, but firefighters are moving into the area as well as they possibly can with as much apparatus as they are able to. We don't know if they're going to plan a water drop on this side. They were doing it on the other side. However, once that wind shifted just a couple of degrees, it went over the top of those homes that were being burned, or the fire that was burning around those homes. That hampered their water dropping effort right there. So again, 405 freeway northbound, as you can see, completely shut down. We still have traffic southbound on the 405 freeway. Once you get up to the area, it slows dramatically, as you might imagine. People are looking at a spectacle they probably have never seen in their lives, slowing down as they make their way through the area. The good news is it looks as though firefighters are able to make access to the area and bring their engines up to the areas that they believe that they need it to be. The good news is the northbound march of this flame, the upwind march of the flame, has been dramatically decreased. Likewise, alongside the 405, there's far less fire than we saw earlier when we first came over the top at about 5 o'clock this morning. That due to the fact that just much of this fuel has just burned itself out. It burned intensely, it threw off a lot of smoke, a lot of flame. It lit up the area in a way that residents here, I just would imagine, have never seen before. And as we push into some of these areas where we still have the heavy vegetation, we're still seeing those intense flames that are burning just alongside the east side of the 405 freeway. Now, back to you in the studio. Not. Okay. Let me kind of move up here and look that way then. Okay. Yeah. Sky 5, go ahead. Okay, roger that. Roger that. On our way. Okay, 5's all finished here. We're going to head to K-Joy and clear the area. Just going to get some fuel, come back. Yeah, we're only about 6 minutes away, and we're going to give them a call. Hopefully we'll get turned around and be back here in half an hour or less. Burbank Tower helicopter TV5 is approaching K-Joy Tower for direct to Whiteman. 0212, we're descending out of 2,400. We have traffic out to our north insight. Two 5, Roger.